So we can differentiate the halos by the use of stenopic slit. Spelling मुझे खुद भी नहीं आता, it's something like this. Excuse me for my spellings. And on the basis of this slit, the test is called a Pilgrim's test, I think. If I find the video, I'll send it to you. Otherwise, there's not much explaining. If you read it for yourself once, आपको समझ आ जाएगा. Do read this test, because if I explain to you, मैं आपको समझा नहीं पाऊंगा properly. Pinching test. Thank you for the correction. It's pinching test. So this is a test on the basis of which we can differentiate the halos which are formed in corneal pathologies and the halos which are formed in cataracts. So ये हमारी हो गई थी examinations, and we know why. Now we know why we have to do these examinations. But the question now begs, why do we need to perform a perimetry? And the second is, why do we need to perform an OCT? And both of these are performed, and both of these are investigations which can be done. But these are usually done after we've acutely managed the patient. The question is now, why do we do these? हम क्यों करते हैं? Can anyone think of a rationale? Why do we do these things? हम ये क्यों करते हैं? What is the reason for doing these?
In order to find the extent of the disease.
In order to find the extent of the disease, optic nerve damage, that's good. If there's optic nerve damage, तो वो भी हमें पता लग जाएगा. So an OCT can either be a retinal OCT, can either be a retinal OCT, जो हम पढ़ते आ रहे हैं रेटिना में, we discussed the OCT, रेटिना की जो diseases देखी थी, retinal detachment etc., उनमें जो OCT देखा था. Or it can be an anterior chamber OCT. Okay. Do you remember an anterior chamber OCT? If not, let me just quickly upload the picture. This is an anterior chamber OCT, an optical coherence topography of the anterior. So when we know the diagnosis of glaucoma, हमें diagnosis का पता लग गया, and we have a diagnosis of acute angle closure glaucoma and acute angle glaucoma, we usually do not need to do this because we have a diagnosis. However, अगर यही patient हमारे पास आती and on examination the tonometry अगर हम perform करते, तो it was let's just say it would have been 21 या 20 अगर इनका होता, मैं 48 लिख रहा हूँ, अगर इतना होता, and on cranionoscopy we could not find a substantial evidence, so this patient could have been an angle closure suspect, or she could have had a इसकी 3-4 criteria होती है. एक angle closure suspect होता है, or she could have had a subacute angle closure. What does this mean? थोड़ी सी पैथोलॉजी पे आ जाते हैं, पैथोफिजियोलॉजी क्यों होता है वो अभी हम डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. व्हाट हैपेंस? So the first thing is that why acute angle closure glaucoma happens. Let's look at our eye again. Angle closure, this is the angle of the anterior chamber. This over here is the angle of the anterior chamber, this part, and usually it's quite wide. So when an angle closure occurs, it means that this iris, this part over here, it's moving forward and it's occluding the angle. It's causing occlusion of the angle. That is why an angle closure glaucoma happens. So based on this anatomy alone, do you think कोई ऐसे precipitating factors हैं जिनकी वजह से angle closure glaucoma बढ़ सकता है? This normal iris, it moves from this area and it attaches itself towards the periphery, to the cornea. ये जो part है, this is the angle of the anterior chamber. It becomes shallow and it occludes. Can you think of any such process? क्या हो सकता है? Focus on the anatomy of the eye, the normal anatomy, and then let me know. Optic nerve damage.
Radiative substances.
ठीक है, रिपीट करें आपने जो बोला है दोबारा। Let me tell you. मैं क्वेश्चन साथ आंसर।
Mediatic drugs.
Mediatic drugs, ठीक है। Trauma, increase in axial length, that's good.
Increased synthesis of aqueous humor.
Increase synthesis of aqueous humor, that's right, ठीक है। Those are good answers. So let me just clarify this. थोड़ा सा मैं
Prolonged stay in dark light,
Yes.
darkness.
Darkness, ठीक है। तो focus on the anatomy. अगर आपको anatomy समझ आ जाएगी तो you'll know how this works. Normally, this is the angle of the anterior chain. The iris is in contact in front with the cornea, या आगे cornea है, पीछे इसके lens पड़ा हुआ है. If the eyeball is shorter, eyeball अगर shorter है तो means that the cornea will also be shorter in size. If the cornea is shorter in size, it will mean that जो normal ये cornea आगे पड़ा हुआ है, it will come closer to the iris. ठीक है, और ये जो आगे cornea पड़ा हुआ है, can come closer to the iris. Secondly, lens it develops somewhat the lens earlier stages में it has a development which is somewhat different at a different pace than the rest of the eyeball. So the lens it can develop larger. Shorter axial lens से ये होगा कि the iris it comes in contact, it comes closer towards the cornea. ठीक है, चलो ये तो एक predisposing factor हो गया. And the other factor is trauma. Trauma can cause a few things. Trauma जो cause करेगा, we'll discuss it in a few minutes. हम लोग इसको discuss करते हैं. An increase in IOP. Increase in IOP is glaucoma. उसकी वजह से होता है. That's correct. But if the increase in IOP is due to increased formation or the problem in a trabecular meshwork, then it's most likely an angle closure. Open angle glaucoma. और अगर angle open angle glaucoma का भी मसला है, meaning that this trabecular meshwork इसके यहाँ पे भी गड़बड़ है and the angle is closing as well, then it's a mixed glaucoma. दोनों हो सकता है. When we're talking specifically about angle closure, one predisposing factor is short axial length. जब axial length short होगी तो उससे क्या होगा, लेंस एक ज़्यादा पावरफुल है. Lens powerful है, axial length is shortened. Where do you think light rays will fall? At the retina, in front of the retina, or behind the retina?
Behind the retina.
Behind the retina. So behind the retina means the lens is not powerful enough. It means that the person is hypermetropic. So that is why hypermetropia or short eyeball length is a predisposing factor. Now, what happens or what precipitates an attack? Normally, when we have an iris, this is the arrangement of iris, which is shown below over here, right? It's just in front or just in contact with the lens. But when the iris, this is an iris which is constricted. When the iris it dilates or when the pupil it dilates, it थोड़ा सा जमा हो जाता है एक जगह पे. It increases in width and it shortens in length. You can clearly see how the angle is affected in both cases, when it's constricted and when it's dilated, the pupil. When the pupil is dilated, the iris it accumulates around about here. So this is one condition. एक तो ये कि predisposed eyeball है, it's short in axial length. The second is the iris it dilates. ठीक है, the pupil it dilates. On top of that, if the lens were to get larger, what is the physiological condition in which the lens it gets larger? Accommodation. Okay? In accommodation, the lens it becomes more globular. That's correct. So when it becomes more globular, what happens is that it pushes this iris more in front. इस iris को वो आगे push करता है. When it pushes this iris in front, what will happen is the angle it will become occluded. So my doodles are not pretty. If you've been able to follow through, then we can have three factors which are leading to an acute angle occluded glaucoma. One is a short eyeball. Second is mydriasis. The third is accommodation. So short eyeball, it's a genetic predisposition, development का मसला है. हर वक्त eyeball की length change नहीं करती, so it's not situational. Can you tell me a situation in which mydriasis occurs along with accommodation? Can you tell any situation in which there's mydriasis and there's accommodation as well?
Focusing in dark.
Focusing
on
in-
near,
Focusing on a near
sitting in
object,
a dark room.
sitting in a dark room. Okay? What does this cause? Far vision focus, fright, accommodation. Yes, one is fright, far vision focus. अच्छा, far vision focus में the lens is not accommodated. Lens accommodation, it occurs when we are focusing at objects which are close at hand. It's a part of the near response. ठीक है? तो near response के अंदर accommodation होती है. और far vision में वैसे भी pupils they do not constrict. So if you remember the normal near response क्या होता है? It's convergence, it's accommodation, it's pupillary constriction. So one thing is that there must be a near response. Near response means that there must be something on which we're focusing right now or right in front of our eyes. That will lead to a more globular shape of this lens. Lens globular हो जाएगा ज़्यादा. The second is mydriasis. Mydriasis it occurs when there is darkness, when the light is dark, and it also occurs in psychological conditions, extreme psychological conditions, or parasympathetic responses होते हैं, flight or flight responses में होते हैं. Mydriasis, extreme fright में हो सकता है, extreme emotional response when you're having an emotional breakdown, this can happen. So we know the two conditions. Excitement में भी हो जाता है, बिल्कुल होता है. And also when you're sitting in a dark room and you're trying to read a book just right in front of your eyes. Okay? The light is not enough. That is why your eyes are dilating, mydriasis is occurring, and you're invoking the near response as well. That is why the lens is accommodating. So this globular lens, it pushes forward on a mid-dilated iris. Okay? On a mid-dilated iris. And this leads to angle closure. This is the pathophysiology of angle closure glaucoma, which you have to remember. Okay, those three conditions, if you remember, a genetically predisposed eyeball, which is short, which has short corneal curvature, which has a short axial length, and the second is mydriasis in the presence of accommodation. That is how angle closure glaucoma it develops. अब जरूरी नहीं है कि हर किसी में angle closure glaucoma हो. मतलब कि everybody who has hypermetropia does not develop glaucoma. और हर बंदे को ये नहीं होता कि रात में अगर मैं अंधेरे में किताबें पढ़ रहा हूँ तो हमें अम्मा बाप जरूर कहते हैं कि आंखें खराब हो जाएंगी, but that does not mean that we'll all develop glaucoma. So in this case, some people are suspects who have genetic predispositions and whose angles or these angles जो हमने बात की थी, they are narrow. But they are narrow, meaning that they are predisposed to glaucoma, but they don't have angle closure glaucoma. So बात कहते हैं ना कि a person who is diabetic, who has hypercholesterolemia, he is predisposed to myocardial infarction, but he does not have myocardial infarction. Similarly, people who have narrow chambers and who have short eyeballs, they're predisposed. Hence, they can be termed suspects. Okay? They don't have any symptoms, but their eyeball is short, the anterior chamber is somewhat shallow, और इस तरह के पेशेंट्स को फिर हम सस्पेक्ट्स कह देते हैं. तो
भाई ओपन ग्लाकोमा में क्यों वो प्यूपल डायलेटेड था?
ओपन एंगल ग्लाकोमा में
जी, ओपन एंगल में भी प्यूपल परमानेंटली डायलेटेड था ना?
ओपन एंगल में ये होता है कि ड्यू टू दी रेस्ड आईओपी पीछे नर्व डैमेज होता है, उसमें भी यही इशू आ रहा होता है जो इसमें एक्यूटली आ रहा होता है. If people is dilated, dilation की दो causes हैं. The first is the IOP, the increase in IOP. जब अंदर से pressure पड़ेगा, it's a pressure effect on the iris due to which it's dilated. The unresponsiveness is due to the optic nerve damage. Okay, so if it's completely unresponsive, So it means that there is complete blockage. अगर acutely है तो that blockage is मतलब complete blockage of signals from the eye to the brain. If it's acute, तो हम उस blockage को किसी तरह reverse कर लें तो the vision can be saved. If it's chronic, तो वो फिर एक और condition हो जाती है malignant glaucoma, sorry, absolute glaucoma से कहते हैं. So if you don't have the answer to your question, type it down. मैं आपको उसका आंसर दे दूँगा. So on the basis of the genetic predisposition, we have suspects, and then there are people who have attacks. मतलब mild attacks होते हैं. Sometimes they get a headache. Sometimes they have mild redness. Sometimes they experience halos, but it's not that much. उनके हमें examinations पे थोड़े बहुत signs and symptoms मिल जाते होते हैं. और symptoms कभी-कभी होते हैं. They resolve. Examination पे anterior synechiae मिल जाएगा थोड़ा सा या थोड़ा सा और issues नजर आएंगे which tell us कि all right, this person has had intermittent attacks of angle closure. ठीक है? Those people are called subacute. In those people, the diagnosis is subacute angle closure glaucoma. Then we have people such as our case who have symptoms, who have an attack, and on examination, they have the findings. So those people are suffering from acute angle closure glaucoma. And then if this patient, if we do not manage this patient and her angle closure remains there forever, then our patient will be suffering from chronic angle closure glaucoma. Okay, that is how these classifications are built. इसकी मैं बात कर रहा था in reference to these examinations. The thing is that when we don't have the signs and symptoms on examination, and even if अगर यही history होती और हमें ये चीजें ना मिल रही होती, तो this patient would have most likely been either a suspect or she would have been a case of intermittent or subacute angle closure. In this patient, in order to make a good diagnosis and in order to follow up the patient, we perform perimetries and we perform anterior chamber OCTs. That is why these things are performed. These are performed in suspects and subacute patients who we need to follow up, who we need to monitor their disease progression. In acute angle closure glaucoma, this one, such as in our case, we do not need to perform these. क्योंकि ये हमारे patient हमें diagnosis मिल चुका है. But if we had this patient before us और आगे हमें monitor करना होता, then we would definitely have performed anterior chamber OCTs. Perimetry हम इसलिए करवा लेते हैं to quantify the optic nerve changes, because sometimes what happens is that besides angle closure, these people have a pathophysiology similar to open angle glaucoma. तो दोनों processes साथ साथ चल रहे होते हैं, उसको mixed glaucoma कहते हैं. So even in that case, and even to quantify, to monitor the patient, we can perform a perimetry. I hope this is clear to all of you. Why do we perform these and how these investigations are relevant to the staging of this disease? Suspects में हम क्यों करेंगे?
वैसे perimetry में changes तो इसमें open angle और closed angle दोनों में आएंगे ना?
Open angle, closed angle में अगर acute है, तो because it's acute, there has not been enough time to cause apoptosis of the optic nerve. So most likely those perimetry changes, they will not occur. Perimetry changes, आप वही कह रहे हैं, if there's a mixed mechanism, if you feel like there's a mixed mechanism, and or if it's chronic, it's going on for a long time, फिर आप करा सकते हैं. वरना acute angle
closed angle में भी होगा perimetry changes. Chronic closed angle.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. I think that's so. ये अभी हमारे पास reasons आ गए. इसके अलावा there are a few other investigations as well. Let me check those. कौन सी होती थी? Suspects में there's knob scan, anterior segment imaging to be performed in anterior segment OCT, and there are a few other investigations as well. So OCT is the relevant one. Now coming on to the treatment, IV acetazolamide, mannitol, and pilocarpine. These are basically used IV because they are diuretics. They are diuretics. What they do is cause dehydration. Dehydration cause करेंगे fluid बाहर निकलेगा पूरी body से. eye से भी जो aqueous है, the fluid will go outside. But the thing is that they have one contraindication. Before they take fluid out of the body in the form of urine, they accumulate fluid inside the cardiovascular system, inside the vessels. मतलब कि मैनेटॉल में आईओपी जब ज़्यादा है बंदे का, आईओपी ज़्यादा होने में मैनेटॉल देते हैं. आईओपी ज़्यादा है या ई ज़्यादा है. If this patient is already suffering from congestive heart failure, to give them mannitol, what will happen is that there will be an increase in intravascular fluid, and they will have a precipitation of acute acute congestive heart failure. So heart failure is a contraindication for this disease for IV mannitol. And since we know painkiller dete hain, yes, a patient can go in cardiogenic shock as well. The surgical treatments, let's focus on the surgical treatments. What is trabeculectomy? You've seen those videos. What happens in trabeculectomy? Anyone? कोई बता दे. बताते मुझे डूडल करना पड़ेगा. So this is the cornea.
Trabecular meshwork.
Yes, trabeculectomy means that trabecular meshwork. मैं repeat कर देता हूँ. Let me just finish this. So, in trabeculectomy, trabecular meshwork के साथ एक connection बना देते हैं. In trabeculoplasty, we modify the trabecular meshwork. ठीक है. अच्छा, पहले was asked to repeat. Mannitol, it causes fluid to accumulate inside the vessels. Mannitol osmotic agent है. मतलब कि जहाँ पड़ा होगा वाटर इसकी तरफ आएगा ऑस्मोसिस के जरिए. तो व्हेन इट्स प्रेजेंट इनसाइड द वेसल्स, जब हम आईवी देते हैं तो एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड जितना भी है वो वेसल्स के अंदर आ जाता है. तो वेसल्स के अंदर फ्लूइड बढ़ जाएगा. अगर एक पेशेंट हार्ट फेलियर में है तो उसके पहले ही फ्लूइड ओवरलोड है, उसकी वेसल से पहले ही फ्लूइड बहुत ज्यादा है. आप फ्लूइड और बढ़ा देंगे तो हार्ट फेलियर जो है उसका खराब हो जाएगा. ठीक है. दैट इज द रैशनल दैट यू हैव टू बी वेरी ऑफ congestive heart failure when giving IV mannitol. Acha, coming on to the surgical treatment. So one, we have trabeculectomy. The second is trabeculotomy and trabeculoplasty. In trabeculoplasty, what we do is we use lasers. Considering we use lasers and we make openings inside the trabecular meshwork. The thing I want to ask is, do you think we should do a trabeculoplasty in a patient जिसका एंगल ही क्लोज है? जब ट्रेबेकुलर मेशवर्क यहाँ पे पड़ा हुआ है, नॉर्मली यहाँ पड़ा हुआ है तो एंगल इज ओपन, राइट? तो आप कर सकते हैं. बट इन दिस पेशेंट हु हैज आवर क्लोज्ड एंगल, जिसका एंगल ही क्लोज हुआ है, डू यू थिंक वी कैन परफॉर्म अ ट्रेबेकुलोप्लास्टी ऑन दिस पेशेंट? नो. तो ट्रेबेकुलोप्लास्टीज आर नॉट परफॉर्म्ड. दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग. ट्रेबेकुलोप्लास्टी मैंने रिमूव कर देना बिकॉज़ ट्रेबेकुलोप्लास्टीज आर नॉट परफॉर्म्ड हियर. एंगल विजिबल ही नहीं है. We cannot perform a trabeculoplasty. So that is the first thing. So trabeculectomy, trabeculotomy, I'm not sure if it's a procedure or not. Trabeculectomy होता है. You can confirm if I'm wrong. So then we have glaucoma drainage devices. Again, glaucoma drainage devices are used for the management of chronic glaucoma. और आपने अगर वीडियो देखी तो you know that they're inserted in the sclera और वो फ्लो को इंक्रीज करते हैं. So if you add a glaucoma drainage device to a person whose angle is already occluded and they don't have any drainage, तो इस drainage device का फायदा होगा आपको? नहीं होगा. ठीक है. If you see the video, you know that उसका फायदा नहीं होगा आपको, because the angle is already occluded and there's nothing that can help with the drainage. The problem are it's coming at the angle. So all of your treatments in acute angle closure glaucoma, they will be dedicated towards the angle. And those include iridotomy, which is the first line treatment, and the second is trabeculectomy. Okay. So what is an iridotomy and what is a trabeculectomy? Trabeculectomy की आपने वीडियो पहले देख ली है. Trabeculectomy हम बाद में करते हैं. First thing which we have to do in this patient is a laser iridotomy. What is a laser iridotomy? Let's look at this patient again. Can you appreciate the laser, the red dot of the laser? And when it turns green, so it's being fired on the iris. And this patient is undergoing multiple laser iridotomies. This is a laser iridotomy. What is this procedure? इसमें क्या हो रहा है? This laser, which is an Nd:YAG laser, it's focused on the peripheral part of the iris, away from the pupil, and a hole is being created. What this hole does is that if the hole is being created over here, it can allow free flowage of aqueous from the ciliary bodies to the anterior chamber. That is the first thing in this patient. क्योंकि इनमें angle close हो रहा है, so and this is what needs to be done. Okay, let's do it. This is the iris. This is the cornea. This is the iris over here. And if something is causing bowing of this iris, it's causing an occlusion of the anterior chamber, but there's some part viable over here. If we perform an iridotomy at this place, we can manage a connection between the posterior chamber and the anterior chamber. So that is why we do an iridotomy. However, if we cannot manage with an iridotomy alone, and this patient has massive anterior synecdoche, meaning that the chamber has fibrosis and it has connection to the cornea, then we will perform a trabeculectomy. These are the two treatments which are important in the management of angle closure glaucoma. We will not perform a trabeculoplasty, ठीक है? Glaucoma drainage device बाद में कर सकते हैं, but these are the two things which you need to do. Iridotomy आप हर patient में करते हैं. This is a surgical indication for every patient who has an angle closure glaucoma. And trabeculectomy, if there's large anterior synecdoche, and management, management cannot be done alone, we have that. And iridotomy is also done. It's done in same eye, and it's also done prophylactically in the other eye. ताकि उसका अगर एंगल क्लोज होने का खदशा है, तो it does not suffer from an attack, and so it's prophylactically also done in the other eye. So this was a little bit about angle closure glaucoma. We have a few secondary glaucomas as well today. So most of these pictures you've seen before. People who've not seen before, take a look at these pictures. आप बोर्ड खोल के इनको देख लेना. And then these are usually important in the context of MCQs. MCQs में ये आ जाते होते हैं. Complications अगर वैसे भी secondary glaucomas के आपसे पूछते हैं, तो it's worth the while. इनमें इतना रट्टा नहीं है. They're more of concepts. So let's go over them one by one. Read the first case and let me know the diagnosis. So why you read? मैं इसका आंसर देता हूँ. An acute attack can have permanent effects as well. You know that in an acute attack there's corneal edema. मसला हो रहा है, अगर अटैक ज़्यादा देर रहेगा तो एक permanent anterior synecdoche form हो सकता है. That has its own complications. अगर अटैक ज़्यादा देर रहेगा तो corneal edema हो सकता है. Corneal edema के बाद desmatocele rupture कुछ भी हो सकता है. It can have its own complications. Acute attack के अंदर पीछे आईओपी इतना रेज हो सकता है कि ऑप्टिक नर्व की परफ्यूजन और वो सारा कुछ डैमेज हो जाए. It can have its own complications. An acute attack can have dangerous complications. That is why it's an ophthalmologic emergency and we need to treat it. So read the first statement and let me know which secondary glaucoma this is. This is a phacomorphic glaucoma.
कैटरेक्ट की वजह से डेस्मेटोसील बनी है, उसकी वजह से प्रेशर रेज हो गया और ग्लाकोमा हो गया. ठीक है.
Desmatocele means that there's a corneal rupture, मतलब corneal ulcer है, and only the Descemet's membrane is remaining. So in this picture we cannot see a Descemet's membrane first of all, and secondly, in order for a Descemet's membrane to form, बाहर से कोई चीज खाएगी कॉर्निया को, तो इतनी एक्सकेवेशन होगी उसकी, फिर डेस्मेट मेम्ब्रेन से रहती है, डेस्मेटोसील बनेगी, राइट? So a desmetocele, it occurs in the context of a corneal ulcer or keratitis, which is not the case in this patient. You're right that the cataract is causing a reason IOP. But the thing is why? If you look at this picture, we can see there's corneal haziness. The cornea is very hazy. इस वाला भी hazy है. Cornea is hazy. There's circumciliary congestion. There's conjunctival congestion. And if this patient has a hypopyon, and this means, a cataract, especially my cataract, this means that there's something which is causing an acute raise in IOP, क्योंकि हमें IOP ज़्यादा मिल रहा है, और गोनियोस्कोपी पे एंगल भी क्लोज्ड है. तो this is a phacomorphic glaucoma. If you cataract के lectures आपने सुने हैं, you know that in phacomorphic glaucomas, what happens is that cornea, the lens, it becomes larger due to hydration, and as it becomes larger, it pushes the iris against the cornea and it occludes the anterior chamber. And when it does that, the glaucoma is called a phacomorphic glaucoma. Phaco means lens, morphic means due to the mass of the lens, to the morphology of the lens. So this is a phacomorphic glaucoma. Phacomorphic glaucoma में angle closed होता है, so it's a secondary closed angle glaucoma. Okay, this was the first case. Look at the second case.
A phacolytic glaucoma.
Okay, this is a phacolytic glaucoma. क्यों है? Because this patient has a hypermature cataract. The first important thing, the IOP is raised and the angle is open. हम इस patient को जब examine करते हैं, let's see, the cornea is hazy. If you can appreciate it, ऊपर तो hazy है ही है, नीचे there is yellowish fluid or yellowish substance which has accumulated over here. ऐसे ही है ना?
Inflammation.
Yes, this can be inflammation. However, we don't have any clear signs of inflammation. The first thing, and this fluid, it's yellowish to brownish. Hypopyon का, it's not, मतलब hypopyon का whitish fluid होता है. It's whitish, it's sterile. This patient who does not have any photophobia, who does not have, who has minimal congestion, if there is any, who does not have photophobia, who's मतलब बाकी symptoms uveitis के इसमें नहीं है, but we see accumulation, we see corneal haziness, and we see accumulation of this fluid over here. This is actually lens matter. It has ruptured. So the mature cataract, hypermature cataract, it has ruptured, and its lens matter has leaked out into the anterior chamber. This is what it is. इतना ज़्यादा जो ये है. This type of glaucoma is called a phacolytic glaucoma. Phaco means lens, lytics means breakdown, lysis. जब hypermature cataracts होते हैं, if they rupture and if they leak lens protein, that lens protein, it accumulates inside the trabecular meshwork, blockage करा देंगे उनका, and it can cause a secondary open angle glaucoma called phacolytic glaucoma. Phaco means lens, lytic means lysis due to the rupture of the glaucoma. Next case.
भाई जो वॉल्यूम ऐड हुआ है वो तो लेंस का अपना ही वॉल्यूम था ना, फिर प्रेशर क्यों रेज हुआ?
प्रेशर इसलिए रेज हो रहा है क्योंकि वो तो लेंस का अपना वॉल्यूम था. आपकी बात बिल्कुल दुरुस्त है. पीछे से नॉर्मल आईओपी एक्वस ह्यूमर बन रहा है, वो आगे एंटीरियर चेंबर में आता जा रहा है. अब ये जो प्रोटीनेशियस मटेरियल जो लेंस फाइबर्स रिलीज हुए हैं हाइपरमैच्योर कैटरैक्ट से, ये ट्रेबेकुलर मेशवर्क में जाके फंस जाते हैं. दे क्लॉग अप द ड्रेन वर्क. The regular meshwork, it drains the anterior chamber. It has been clogged up by these protein matter. तो जब ये ड्रेनेज को ब्लॉक कर देंगे, तो जो पीछे एक्वस ह्यूमर बनता आ रहा है, it will have nowhere to go. If it will have nowhere to go, तो फिर IOP तो रेज होगा. right?
सही.
So this case now, आज का जो अभी case. What is this glaucoma? So look at the eye. What do you think this globular mass is? You can see that there's a secondary congestion, there's oral hyperemia congestion. This is the limbus. The pupil margin we cannot appreciate. यहाँ पे तो नजर आ रहा है, यहाँ पे अचानक गायब हो जाता है. But there's this globular mass over here. What do you think this is?
Everted iris लग रहा है.
You think that the iris is everted. But if we look closely, we can see that इसके पीछे है iris यहाँ पर. बाकी इसके पीछे है.
Lens subluxation हुई है.
Lens subluxation. Okay. It's not a subluxation. Subluxation means that
Dislocation.
It's a dislocation of lens. The lens has been dislocated into the anterior chamber in this picture. That lens is closing the angle. Lens anterior chamber में आके angle close कर क्या है? So this type of glaucoma, in which the lens, it moves its location, it moves its topography. This type of glaucoma is called a phacotopic glaucoma. This is a phacotopic. ये तीन phacos आपने याद रख लेने. They're quite simple if you remember the terminology. Phacolytic, ये phacomorphic due to the morphism of the lens, and phacotopic due to the topology or topography of the lens. These are cataract secondary glaucoma secondary to cataracts. Let's focus on this one. So you can see that her IOP is 29 and she has iridocyclitis. And on examination, we can see mutton fat keratic precipitates, which are large KPs over here. What is this secondary glaucoma called? So we still have 7 minutes till 5 p.m. I'm going to end this session right now. I won't record the next one. तो उसी में डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. There are only 3 left. इमेजेस यहाँ देखते हैं तो ज़्यादा मसला नहीं होगा. खुदा तंग नहीं करूँगा. दोबारा लिंक सेंड करो. बी बैक है. ऑलराइट.